Good morning, Love Tribe. I wasn't sure if the camera started. It is literally the butt crack of dawn here. I think it's like 6:30 in the morning, and fresh out of bed. So please don't mind the bedhead. But I had some crazy dreams last night, guys. I mean, crazy dreams. And I woke up this morning feeling really like now more than ever we need guidance. And I haven't been watching excuse me, I haven't been watching the news. So I don't know what's going on out there in the world. But I just woke up with this feeling like people are losing hope or losing faith, and I hope that's not true. But if you are, I want to give you hope and faith today. Okay, we're going to take a look at, I did Monday a video on where is your person, if you have one, right? A lot of people were activated on their ascension journey by a person. Whether it's a, ascension partner, catalyst, twin flame, sacred soulmate. And I did have some responses from people that are like, what about us who aren't? What about those of us who are definitely on the ascension journey, but we weren't activated or we're not on this journey with another person or a partner? And so today's reading is, where are you on your ascension journey? And so, let me know in the comments, what's been the energy for you this week. Tomorrow is the new moon. It could be this new moon energy hitting me. I don't know. But I had wild, crazy dreams. Wild, crazy dreams. And when I woke up, I just felt, and I've noticed something on YouTube also, like crazy stuff. Like yesterday, my channel was up by almost 30 some people, and then boom, this morning it's down like 6 lower than its lowest at the beginning of the month. And so I lost, like, I don't know, a bunch of viewers overnight. And I'm not really here for the views, guys. I mean, yes, it supports me and my son, and this is what I do for a living. But I want to change the world. I really do want to help each and every person to do their shadow work and to heal from the inside out, because everything that we experience in the external world is a mirror of our state of mental health and spiritual health within us. So the more lives that raise their frequency and do their healing and, create from a better place, the better, I believe, our world is going to look like on the outside as well. And so that's my mission. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I noticed that the videos had, they had gone from like, I don't know, 4 or 5 commercials or ads on them to like 1 or 2. And then this morning I played back Monday's video just to get an idea of what cards I used. I did choose to use a few different cards this time because, of course, we're talking about our higher selves, not our person. But I noticed they slammed the video with a ton of ads. And I don't know, I think YouTube is just changing their algorithm somehow, some way. So if you didn't get a notification for this and you had to go look it up, or I, somehow brought it to your attention because we're friends or something, check your settings and make sure that you're still subscribed and that your wiggly bell is still on. I just don't know what's going on, but I'm keeping an eye on it. And I don't know, I haven't looked. I'm positive that I, as the creator, can manipulate the ads. However, I'm not going back over 200 and some videos to alter ads. So as I upload them, I will check them the next day. I got to watch some videos to figure out how to do it. And remember, my screen's broken, so I've got to be able to do it on my computer, or see if I'm able to do it on my phone. Anyhow, the intro's been too long. I do apologize, but there's just a lot of stuff going on, and I wanted to touch base with you guys. And so let me know in the comments, how are you feeling emotionally, spiritually? Is this new moon affecting you? Are you feeling a little bit... I don't feel depressed. I feel oppressed. Yeah, that's the way I'd describe it. There's a feeling of oppression in the world today for me, and I don't like it. I want to be free. I want you to be free. I want us all to be free, sovereign, choice making, trusting to be able to make choices. So I'm here. I'm on mission. I've got a big old cup of Java. I've got 3 piles today. Where are you on your personal ascension? And, for those people who come to my channel who say, I'm not on an ascension, what about readings for me? I will do some kind of a reading that's, for the general populace, probably a romance one, because that's pretty much what everybody wants if they're not on the ascension journey. But I want to start covering for everybody. I'll be doing people who are coupled, people who are single. I'll be doing spiritual, ascension, just, mediumship, whatever. And also, guys, please, I really, really want to give you what you want. You're my subscribers. You're the engine of this channel. So anytime, drop in the description box below or the comment section. What would you like? What's a title that you would like? Because I'm sure there's other creators out there that have already done it, but every reader is different. Not everybody resonates. I've got lots of readers I watch that I like, and I've watched quite a few that I don't. So my style of reading if you're a regular here. And what would you like to hear for a title from me? Okay, so today pile number 1 is this beautiful red carnelian, and of course I use the dice again. We'll roll those during I almost rolled my my blue calcite here, or fluorite. Pile number 2 is blue fluorite. Pile number 3 is dragon septarian. Okay, so take a moment, clear out all the debris of my chatter. We're almost 10 minutes in now, good Lord. And pick your pile. We'll see, where are you on your ascension as of today, okay? And we're going to give you lots of advice too from Spirit. All right, so let's see. I want to put pile number 2 over here, and pile number 3. I need more space on my table apparently. All right, pile number 1. I'm going to write down the intro and announcements, because not everybody wants to listen to me talk for 9 minutes, okay? 9:05. All right. Let's get this thing on a roll. I love the energy off of this carnelian. Okay, pile number 1. Let's take a look at your numerology. Okay, and I only use 1 dice, so we're going 1 through 10, right? 1 through 9. No, 1 through 6. 1 through 6. And we got 6. Okay, so 6. Right off the bat, that's balanced. 6 is all about love. It's about equal reciprocity, equal give, equal take. It's a really, really balanced space, okay? So your number is number 6. We'll take a look at how does that apply in your reading. What is the energy that you, pile number 1, are currently at in your ascension? We have wasp spirit. It's a number 9, 64, which breaks down to a 9. We do have a 6 in there. So wasp spirit, sometimes life stings. See, I'm not the only one that woke up feeling a little off today, huh? So I'm going to take a look at the energy before I start reading. Oh, well, you're in the mystic energy. Now, I noticed when I was reading for our person, you know, was it upside down? Was it right side up? With this one, it came out in reverse. It says mystic. It says shadow attribute, delusional rapport with the divine. So it feels to me, I want one more spirit. Yeah, orphaned. Yeah, my pile number 1s, you guys are really, you're kind of in a sad place right now. You're feeling abandoned and alone. And you're not really listening to spirit. You know, you might even be grumpy. I'm just going to put that out there. I mean, wasp spirit was sometimes life stings. And then the shadow attribute of the mystic, delusional rapport with the divine, and then orphaned. I think your higher self is trying to tell you that you're resisting. I'm just going to put it nicely. You're resisting your shadow. You're in your shadow. You're feeling abandoned, left out in the cold, orphaned. You're desiring change in your life. But Spirit is trying to speak with you. I mean, you're a mystic. This is your this is your archetype, okay? You are a mystic. You're part of this ascension. You're a necessary cog in the wheel. But I do feel like you might be in your shadow today, at least, because we're just looking at current energies, right? So the 6 is probably a reference to needing balance, needing to, you know, find the love in your life and find the love within yourself. You know, sometimes when you're orphaned, and everybody has been, guys, I just want you to know, 90% of us have, or more, have experienced some type of abandonment wounds in our life. And I think that whatever you're doing in your life right now, you're just feeling a little bit like you're doing it alone. And Spirit wants you to know that, you know, when you go through the darker days, if you would just pray and meditate and go within yourself, you are a mystic. You are one of the chosen ones. Not everybody is on the ascension at this time. Everybody's in the awakening, but not everybody chose to ascend. To ascend means you are quantumly leaping through timelines, collapsing out old karmic timelines, and you are becoming a higher version of yourself. And most of us who are on the ascension chose this lifetime to do so because of some kind of a calling or a mission that we are here to help the planet and all of the humans, right? All of life on planet Earth. So we're going to take a look at possibly why, and then get you some advice on, you know, how do we clear it up? How do we put a smile back on that beautiful face and in that beautiful heart? And how do we raise the frequency and clear the abandonment issues, right? Now, me personally, and it's funny because I often pick pile number 1, so this could very well be my mirror reflection, you know. And so if it doesn't resonate with you, pick another pile. But for me personally, I don't know that I'm in wasp spirit. I'm not really angry at anybody. But being a reader and a mystic, is not very well received in the external world, especially in the dating world, you know? And there are days, and I won't lie, Spirit knows, I mean, I can't lie, but there are days when I just wish I could be normal like everybody else and not feel this drive inside of me to step up and help and lead. And sometimes I just want to be that normal girl from Conneaut, Ohio that, you know, but then I do my gratitude list and I look at where I've come on my journey. So that's what I think you should do. I think you should start a gratitude list and take a look at where were you, maybe even journal each day. Because like if I had journaled every day, which, you know, maybe my YouTube videos is kind of a journal, but I didn't pen to paper journal, except for my channeled messages. They're all journaled. They're not organized, but they're all journaled. But guys, I have come so far. I don't know about you, but I'm not the same person. I don't look the same. I don't talk the same. I don't walk the same. I don't believe the same. I don't show up on this earth in the same way. And I am grateful. And so if you woke up a little grumpy like a wasp this morning, and maybe you have gifts and talents that you just, you know, sometimes get shunned by others because of it and makes you feel alone, then you and I are in the same boat. And let's hook up. All right, let's talk. I don't know, but it's a little disheartening, isn't it? Okay, so this is what I feel for you. I feel like you're very gifted, very talented. Either you could possibly be a reader, or you're a healer, or you're a bard, or you're a poet. You know, you're some kind of you have some kind of creative ability that helps you to tap into higher knowledge. All right, and I think you might be feeling alone in that, like a misfit. I'm feeling like Misfit Island, right? On what is it? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Sometimes life stings. So yeah, you know, we're going to take a look. Let's look at your tarot now. Ace of Swords. Victory, clarity. And sometimes this is the sword we cut things out of our life with, right? Things that don't resonate with us any longer. You know, that's what I need to learn to do. I keep trying to fit into a society of people who don't understand, right? But the Ace of Swords is triumph. This is clear communication. You guys are mystics. I really do believe that communicating with spirit is one of your gifts. Page of Pentacles. Okay, I look at pentacles as seeds, guys. Everybody, you know, most readers look at it as coins, as money, and it can be. But I like to think of the world as farmland with so much rich soil and potential. And so the Page of Pentacles is something new. It's planting a seed. And, you know, as a mystic, I believe that's what we do. We plant seeds. You're not here to change anybody else. You are here to plant seeds. And if they're fertile soil, then it's their job to nurture those seeds. And it's their job to harvest those seeds. And it's their job to choose, you know, whether they accept the seed or reject it. And so I feel like Spirit's trying to remind you that you are not the determining factor on whether or not the world changes. You are one of thousands, maybe even millions, of seed planters at this time that are here to speak the truth with the Ace of Swords, here to help cut through the BS, you know, to bring enlightenment, to bring clear communication, to plant seeds. We've got another 5. You've got 5 of Cups with 5 of Pentacles energy here, clinging to the past. So You know, excuse me, guys, morning time is awful for me. I smoked cigarettes and DJ'd in a bar for 25 years, so I haven't had a cigarette since 93, but I did DJ in smoky taverns most of my life, so whiskey voice, right? So we have 2 5s here on the outer edge of your reading. We have a 9 and we have a 5. Which breaks down to a 5. 9 and 4, right? $14 and 1, yeah. Breaks down to a 5. You guys are just going through some major changes. And I think what you're doing is you're trying to compare who you are today to what you were yesterday. You're clinging to the past. You're looking at all the areas of your life possibly that didn't succeed, where you've failed, where you weren't good enough, where people didn't choose you, where you were just a girl from Conneaut. And so I think it's a day, maybe longer. I don't know. You'll know your own energy. How long have you been in this energy? For me, it's just been a day. My readings, Spirit always gives a pile to me too. This is probably my pile, because I'm on this journey with you. I'm not proclaiming to be completely healed, and no, I'm on this journey with you, for better or worse. So, it's time to stop looking at the past. Change is here, change is coming. Balance is being sought. But you're a mystic. You're here to help heal others who have been through the same types of trials and tribulations in their life as you have. And so doing our shadow work again, because I mean, are we ever done doing shadow work? I don't think so. I was triggered big time yesterday. Couple times, couple different people. I've worked very, very hard to get to where I am today in my business, in my spirituality. And I think you have too. But I think that there are still constant reminders of where we came from. And there's still probably people out there judging you. And why? Because you're judging yourself. That's why. Because we are vibrational beings. We do not attract what we want. We attract what we are. So if you are attracting people into your awareness, and I did, that are judging you, it's because somewhere in a very deep subconscious level, you are still judging yourself. The 5 of Cups talks about 3 cups down. But there's 2 cups behind that person that is equal and balanced. And, I woke up with this stupid song in my head. I don't even like country, but I woke up with the Gambler. There's someone for everyone, and Tommy's love was Becky. I got to think on that because I don't remember the words. But if you're lonely, because you have the orphaned and abandoned card here with the 5 of Cups, which is something from the past that was extremely disappointing, that needs to be mourned, that needs to be released, I'm just hearing, there's someone for everyone, and Tommy's love was Becky. There could have been somebody in your past that was your love, and it just didn't work out, right? And so maybe today you're just feeling it. So on your ascension journey, though, Spirit wants to remind you that you've got the full armor of God. You're a wasp, right? You've got wings. You have the ability to defend yourself. And how is it best to defend ourselves? You got this Ace of Swords right under it. Is you align yourself vibrationally with people that build you up, don't tear you down. People who are your biggest cheerleaders, not your worst critics. And sometimes that person's got to start in here, because we do, and I'm getting the hiccups, so there you go. But we do attract externally what we believe internally. And so it's time for you to do a little bit of shadow work around abandonment and not feeling good enough and not being chosen. I feel like some of you guys just weren't chosen by somebody or something. Maybe, it could be a job, could be your parents. Maybe you got a reading and the mystic didn't give you the message you wanted. It's going to play out differently for everybody, but the message I'm getting here is that you're starting this beautiful new life, and you've got this beautiful seed in your hand. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to grow with it? What potential does it have, and are you going to take advantage of it? And for some of you guys, communication is something, being a mystic, that's what I do too, is communicate, right? And a mystic isn't always a reader. A mystic is somebody who is seeking, right? It says in the Bible, those who seek will find. And glory is those who seek the word of God. I'm not a real fundamentalist when it comes to biblical texts, but I do believe and was told by my spirit guides that don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That is a sacred text, and it does have a lot of truth in it. A lot. But I think that you need to figure out what's your truth. You need to go within and figure out what is your truth. What brings you victory? What seeds are you planting? And what are you watering them with? Because if you're watering them with tears from the past, then you're going to grow seeds just like the ones you grew in the past. You are worthy. I think you know it too. I just think maybe it's a blue kind of week, right? New beginnings. Absolutely. You've got a page of pentacles. You've got two aces. You've got the ace of swords. That's triumph. That's a new, the aces come out of the sky. They're given to you by the divine. It's an opportunity for you to speak your truth, to have clear communication, to start something fresh, to cut away old things that no longer serve you, like belief systems around not being good enough. Excuse me. We're building new things, new beginnings. And so Spirit wants you to know that if you want to create something better in the future, you're going to have to do some healing around what you don't want. The best way to figure out, because listen, I'm still working on it. Seriously. This whole manifestation thing. What do you want? What do you want? Well, I don't know. I really don't. I know what I want for others, but I'm not sure what I want for me. I spent so many years as a pious Christian that I never, ever, ever, ever even considered what do I want and what is best for me. I just didn't. I always thought about I was the martyr, right? The Samaritan. If I were asked by a psychiatrist or by a spirit to make a list of everything I want for the world and for the people, that list would be exorbitantly long. I could go on and on and on and on and on. But when it comes down to what do I want for me, I'm like, a roof over my head, food in my stomach, a car that runs. Very meager demands on my existence. And the reason why is because there's a lot of abandonment wounds in me. People who died that I loved dearly when I was very young, people who died, lots of people have died on me. And so there's abandonment wounds. And then also the love of my life just snuck out, took off, and abandoned me, left me with people that I barely knew. and eating crow, right? Because all my family told me that he wasn't good enough for me, and I never believed him. And I still don't. But it didn't stop him from just exit stage left, right? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. So there's another abandonment wound. Those are hard wounds to overcome, guys. They're hard wounds to heal. And it looks like, you're doing great. You're gifted. But you're just, and you've got two energies of a new beginning here. But you're going to have to get clear with yourself and with others about who you are and where you're going. And who gets to go with you. And who supports you and who doesn't. And plant those seeds appropriately. Blessings. See? Rainbow, guys. The rainbow is so significant. It was God's promise, right? God's promise. In the Bible, it was a promise to never take the lives, to never flood the world again. I think it goes much deeper than that. The rainbow represents all of our energy centers, the 7 chakras. It is a promise that we are blessed and we are divinely connected through our energetic motors, right? I like to think of the chakras as the motors, the wheels of energy that animate this body. It is spirit. So a rainbow is about a promise that you are going to be blessed. Page of Pentacles, plant your seeds, guys. Spirit's going to bless them. Silver lining, right? It's a 37 breaks down to a 10, which breaks down to a 1. So far we've got 6 5s and 1s. So stability, new beginnings, change. So you've got silver lining and blessings with new beginnings. Guys, you are promised. God is making you a promise. That although this journey is difficult, it comes with a blessing. It comes with a promise. It comes with new beginnings. It comes with a silver lining. So healing your abandonment and fear. I'm hearing fear of not being good enough. Not being enough. Not being chosen. For some of you guys, I'm hearing chosen. Somebody didn't choose you. Hey, no fighting. Sorry, my cats are playing, but they play too rough sometimes. So your next card is Surrender Worry. It says, make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. Wasp, shadow attribute of the mystic, 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacle energy, orphaned energy. You need to commit to you, to not allow people into your life that bring you anxiety and worry, to use that sword to speak your truth and to cut out anything that's not supporting you on your journey, on your ascension. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body, focus on the power of your heart, and have faith that Spirit is always guiding you. Clarity, guys. Mystic. Spirit is always guiding you, and I think you know it. I just think sometimes it's a burden. Or at least for me, sometimes it can be a burden. But it's all in how you view it. It's all in how you're thinking about it. And worry is a waste of energy. So this pep talk is for me too. It's all about faith. And it's about realizing that you are not forgotten. You have not been forsaken. You have not been forgotten. Spirit is here for you. And when you start cutting those kind of energies out of your life and replacing them with those who support you, who love you, who see your potential, then you don't have to constantly relive the pain of not being chosen, of not being good enough, of being judged. Who gives anybody else the right to judge who you are? You know, we've talked about the mirror and the breaking it up into pieces, the mirror out there will never know what it's like to be the piece of the mirror in here, and etc., etc. Unless you've walked a mile in somebody else's shoes, you don't judge. You can try to understand, and sometimes you got to place some kind of a judgment around understanding, but you leave it open-ended. It's this and. I feel like it's this energy and, because you don't know. You don't know. Unless you've walked a mile in somebody's shoes, you just don't know. So surrender your worry. It's a waste of emotion. Have faith. It's a beautiful message. Silver lining, blessings, new beginnings. Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is slow-moving energy. It takes time. That seed needs to mature. And I feel like we're all maturing spiritually. Some days we're kings and queens, and some days we're pages. Some days we just stay in bed with the covers over our heads, right? Have faith. There is a blessing, a silver lining, new beginnings. Plant your seeds, but you know what? Plant them on fertile soil. Don't plant them in this shadow attribute of not listening, not understanding, not choosing, not believing, not having faith, not seeing the silver lining, not seeing the blessings, only seeing the failures and the stick, right? The stick by which everybody has judged us thus far in our lives. Maybe it's time to bury the damn stick along with our new seeds. All right, your next card. Now we're going to get you some advice. We're at the end of your reading. So where are you on your ascension journey? You're kicking ass is what you're doing. But you've still got a little bit of work to do on abandonment wounds and not being chosen and worrying about the future. And I think it's because there might still be some people in your energy that bring you down. Don't bring me down, 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 down. You got me spinning, got me wasting my time. One of these days you're gonna lose your mind. Don't bring me down. Some of you guys are just dealing with people in your life that don't have faith in you. And they don't need to. It's not their life. It's not their potential. It's not their future. Yes, it's nice to have supporters. But you have to show up for you. You have to not abandon you. When you take on the belief system of somebody else, that you're not good enough, worthy, that you're not chosen, that and if you're feeling alone, you start wondering, did I cut everybody out of my life? And why am I alone? Sometimes you have to be alone while you are attracting your new tribe. So we have some advice here. There's a caution, a warning. It says, Bridget, caution is warranted. Look deeper into this situation before proceeding further. Now that's going to be very specific and personal to each and every one of you. Okay? So I want you to use your discernment because you're a mystic too. Where have you been focusing? What are you worried about? Who are you worried about? And in the energy that you're in, I think you need to have clarity before you proceed further. Do a little more shadow work. Whatever this is referring to, and like I said, it's going to be different for each and every one of you. I think it's time to go within. Seek higher guidance, higher knowledge. Ace of Swords. And if you're being grumpy, or if you're treating somebody a certain way because maybe they treated you, we retaliate. Our ego, if we haven't cleared the ego, we retaliate when somebody does something to us, right? We argue, or we get that wasp, we sting. So if you're looking to get even with somebody, or to have your word with that Ace of Swords, make sure that you're speaking what you would want to hear if somebody was speaking it to you, because, you know, you never know where anybody's been on their journey. And sometimes you just have, you know, if you're criticized or abandoned, sometimes it's not about you. That's a hard lesson to learn, that it's not always about you. Sometimes it's them and their brokenness. And so I think that Spirit's trying to tell you, you know, love. 6. You need to bring love into this situation. And I think it needs to start with you. You need to love yourself. And not in a distorted way where I love myself, so if they say or do something that I don't like, I'm going to let them know right away and I'm going to cut that sucker out, right? I appreciate people that are like that, because guess what? Don't waste my time. You ready to cut me out of your life before you've gotten a chance to get to know me? Use that sword wisely, because I don't want those kind of people in my energy. I'm here to grow, to plant seeds, to become a better person. And I choose me. Yes, I choose everybody else too, because that's my archetype. I'm the archetype of the mother. But I'm learning to choose me too. I need to be put on that list somewhere, and probably somewhere toward the top. All right, we have jump. I will be your net, or we will be your net. Spirit saying, look, you got an ace of swords, and you've got new beginnings here, which for me is the Fool. Jump, new beginning. Go ahead and jump, jump. Let's get you some advice. I think I've rambled on enough. It says, dear wonderful you, intimacy is scary sometimes. It means you have to let someone else get to know the real you, not the perfect, flawless mask that you wear for others. No, it's time to reveal the cool one, the passionate one, the imperfect one, that is totally you without artifice or walls. Yes, you will be exposed and vulnerable for a time, but it will be so worth it. This is the only way you will know true closeness with others, and you will also be close to Spirit and to us. There is an amazing freedom that comes when you let go and just be yourself with another or a group. Released from the invisible bindings that keep you from intimacy can be truly empowering. So may we support you wholeheartedly in your choice. You will know yourself better, and we hope learn to love yourself as much as we do. Life is about who we are with others, so share it. You will be so glad you did. Loving you so, so much. Guys, it's a very clear message, and I think I got this one right. This is about fear of intimacy. Somebody or situations in your past where you were judged, where you were found lacking, where you were imperfect. And so you put on these masks, and you tried really hard to be what everybody else wanted you to be, so that they wouldn't abandon you, so you wouldn't end up alone, so you wouldn't feel like you weren't good enough. And Spirit's saying, it's time to heal that within you, because it's distorted belief. You need clarity around that issue in your life. So even though intimacy can be scary, intimacy isn't just sex, guys. It's bearing your soul. It's letting people past your walls to see the real you. The wasp. Not many people get to know the wasp, guys. They just don't. They're afraid of being burnt or stung. And so, are you really a wasp, or are you just taking on the persona of the wasp because you're afraid that if you let somebody get to know you, that they'll abandon you too, or they'll judge you, or they'll find you somehow lacking and break your heart? So it's time to reveal the real you, the cool one, the passionate one, the imperfect one. You're going to have to be vulnerable for a time, but it will be worth it. So I just feel like some of you guys have had some kind of a falling out with somebody, or somehow, some way, been judged by somebody. You're angry, maybe you've got walls up, maybe you're not an easy person to get to know. Maybe you have gifts and talents that you're not showing to the world because you're afraid you'll be judged for them. But I think it's time to surrender what other people think about you, and it's time to start making lists about how do you feel about you. How do you show up for you? All right, we're going to move on to pile number 2. And pile number 1, I love you. And I totally resonate with your pile, and I get it. I get it. But we're worthy of love too. And if we judge ourselves in a higher light, we will align ourselves with other people that see that light within us. If you'd like your own personal reading to help you, I do the 2-hour deep dives where we do shadow work together. If that resonates with you and you need help with that, then please reach out, because that is my mission. That's what I'm here for. Love you. Namaste. Okay, so pile number 2. I'm going to change this because I talk too damn much. Pile number 2. If you pick this beautiful blue rainbow, well, I call it rainbow fluorite because there's purple right there. But it was labeled blue fluorite, but I think it's rainbow. Okay, pile number 2. Where are you on your ascension journey? Let's just roll the dice and see what is 1 through 6. What is the energy for you at this time on your ascension? 4. Number 4. So 4 is about stability. It's about foundations, building foundations. A table has 4 legs, a chair has 4 legs, a car has 4 tires, house has 4 corners, foundation. So let's take a look. What is your archetype energy? Snake spirit, time to heal. Ooh, you are shedding the past. Snakes are very revered in spirituality. Except for Christianity. But just saying. Think about a snake, okay? Yeah, they're cold-blooded. They slither around on the ground. But they renew themselves. They don't let the path that they've wiggled on, slithered on, they don't let it destroy who they are. They just peel that shit off and leave it in the past and move on with a renewal, right? Time to heal, time to renew, time to leave the past in the past. It's a number 55, which breaks down to a 10, which breaks down to a 1. This is renewal. This is like death and rebirth, transformation. It's shedding the old skin. Samaritan. In the upright too. The light attribute. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Isn't that funny? That's what a good Samaritan does, right? In the Bible, Samaritans, it was all, remember the lady at the well. I don't remember the exact story, but they were of 2 different tribes, right? So when the lady at the well helped, she knew that she could face some real repercussions within her people, her tribe, for choosing to help somebody that was considered a Blythe, right? Less than, evil, or whatever. She helped anyhow. That's what a Samaritan does. When you're walking down the street and you see somebody that's hurting or in need or hungry, They might be a drug addict. Maybe you would rather just not look and walk away. But you can't do that. A good Samaritan's going to help anyways. It's like, yeah, they might take the $1 I give them, or the $5 or $10, and they might spend it on drugs. They might. But they're cold and they're hungry and they're alone. And if I can alleviate their pain for even a moment, then I'm going to. I don't like to give money to homeless people because of that. But I always try to help some way, somehow, give them a jacket. If you got an extra pair of shoes in your car, or maybe some food, you can walk down to the corner and buy them some food. I always trust my intuition, but a good person, a Samaritan, is somebody who chooses to help even though it's not even though they could be judged for it. Let's put it that way. Mending. Look, you've got time to heal and mending. This is such beautiful energy, guys. So you've got number 52, which breaks down to a 7. 7 is always, in the tarot, like the 7 of Pentacles, it's a break. It's a pause to take a look at where you've been, where you're going, what is your next step, right? So you guys are in a very healing phase in your journey, where you're taking a moment to see where you're at. 7 of Wands, where have I come from, and how do I not backtrack or fall down from where I've been? 7 of Swords, it's like, what have I caused? What have I done? Where have I chose wrong? 7 of Cups, what do I choose next? So yeah, number 7, healing. It's a time to heal. Snake spirit, mending, Samaritan. Maybe you guys have always been, and I hate to say it because, it's not a nice feeling, but maybe you've been the ones that always give to everybody else. And you would think that if you are constantly helping and giving things and doing things for others, that somewhere, somehow, people would be appreciative and kind and give back. But the problem is if you're not in a space within yourself of giving to yourself and seeing your own worth and knowing why, what's the motivation? Are you this Samaritan because you want recognition? See, the shadow attribute, I think, was what you were in the past. The shadow attribute says exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. Helping others because you're looking out there for somebody to validate you in here. And I think that was your archetype. That was your archetype. That's the kind of person you were, and I think you're healing that. I think you're learning that you can help others and still not you don't have to do it for anything. You don't have to get recognition or reward for it. And you can learn to use discernment on who is truly needy versus those who are just demanding. Because when you're a giver, you accumulate a lot of demanders, a lot of receivers, right? And so I think that's what you're healing. I think that's where you are on your journey, is you're learning to love yourself enough to not put yourself out there for people who are users and energetic vampires and, quite frankly, snakes. Because everything has a light attribute and everything has a dark attribute, and snakes have their good qualities and they have their bad qualities. We spoke about some of those bad qualities. I think you're learning and mending and healing from some snakes in your life. And I think it's beautiful, and I think that You're doing a great job. Your archetype's in the upright. You know, you're refining your capacity to help those that you would prefer to ignore. Being more selective on who you help, mending, heal. Who are you healing? You know, I give a lot of energy to people that don't take what I am giving and apply it in their life. They just take and take and take. They like the light. They like the help. They like to occupy my time. They like to show up with their hand out and say, Tracy, I'm having a hard day. Can you help me? But then I give them freely of my time and my effort, and they don't apply it in their life. They just are constantly seeking to be held up. They don't want to stand up. And I think that there have been people like that in your life, and I think that you're doing a great job on your ascension, on healing that attribute within yourself, on foundations. You know, what's going to support me as I support others? And maybe it's time for me to support others that support me. All right, your next is, or your tarot is the Ace of Pentacles. Bum, ba-da-da, mic drop. You've learned your value. You've learned your worth. Spirit, you know, the aces, they're given to you by God. They come right out of the ethers here. Here is this bright, shiny pentacle. This is a seed of potential. This is the beginning of something beautiful. The ace is the beginning to get to the 10, and the 10 is the best of the best when it comes to 3D. You can bite it, bury it in the backyard. It'll be there 20 years from now. I'm hearing diamond in the rough. I'm hearing that you have always been a beautiful light in the world. And because of that, you've drawn to you a lot of snakes, a lot of darker people, a lot of energy vampires. And I think that it started off with a need to be loved, a need to be recognized, a need for attention and affection. Because probably in your childhood you didn't have that, or enough of that. And so you lived in the shadow attribute for a long time. We all are, right? If you're on the ascension, it's all about breaking out of who you were and becoming who you're meant to be. And so you're doing it beautifully. You've got a brand new beginning here. Oh, and look, there's that 7 again. 7 of Cups. I wondered, I knew a 7 would come out for you, but I was wondering what 7 it would be. So now that you have healed and mended your perception of who you are and what you're capable of, now that you've learned to love yourself, I'm just noticing the snake here under one of these cups. It goes right underneath this cloud. It's right there. I think on your ascension, you're learning to choose wisely about who you give to, who gives back to you. And you won't always just give to people who can give back. That's not a Samaritan, right? But there needs to be a balance. It needs to have a foundation. You need supported too. And so I think that things have really started to change in your world. Because when you recognize your value and you recognize your worthiness, when you know what you can bring to the table, what you have to give to others for the right reasons, then that's the art of manifestation, right? Because we're always manifesting, always. When people say, I want to manifest, the fact that you're here in a body, you manifested that. The fact that you have a roof over your head, the people that you interact with, the job that you said yes to, you manifested all of that. And so Now you've got this new belief system around who you are and what you're capable of. And you want to know, where do I go from here? Where do I go from here? There's a song there. Dixie Chicks. 'Cause without you I'm not okay. Without you I've lost my way. My heart's stuck in second place. I can't sing in the morning. But where do I go from here? Yeah, some of you guys are just rebuilding your life, you know. It's like, all right, it's time to build a new foundation. I think you might have had a tower moment. Some of you might have had a divorce. You might have broken up with somebody. You might have moved to a new city. You might have lost your job. You might have chose to do all of those. Didn't have to be a tower. Could have been a choice. Because you wanted to heal. You wanted to become something greater. And now you're looking at your future. Where do I go from here? Courage. The Strength card. Look at that. The seed, guys. This daisy seed fell on a brick wall, but somehow managed to get down into the mortar and find just enough dirt and moisture and sunlight to survive it all. And not just to survive, but to thrive. To thrive, to reach for the sun, to strive to survive. What a beautiful, beautiful energy. So guys, you're about to grow. You're about to expand. You're about to take off. And all you need to do is choose the light. Choose love. Choose love. Choose the light. It doesn't show it in this deck. But in a Rider-Waite deck, there's like a ghostly figure radiating light, just popping out, right? Saying, choose me, choose spirit. Choose the light. Choose the light. Look at all the light around this new seed. You're being given, whether with intent or just by the universe. You know, you might have chose it, or it might have been chosen for you, but you are being asked to embrace it and to be more selective. Choose wisely. When you're choosing where to place your energy, build a solid foundation. Don't choose to take this seed and plant it someplace where it's not going to thrive and survive. Beautiful energy, guys. Healing. Get the frig out of Dodge. You've got 3 healing cards. Mending, healing, and healing. That's crazy. This is a number 66, which breaks down to a 12, which breaks down to a 3. 3s are expansion, guys. 3s in the tarot. The 3 of Wands. Waiting for your ships to come in. Setting your intentions out there. Knowing it's on its way. You've placed your order. Right? 3 of Cups. Celebration. 3 of Pentacles. Collaboration. 3 of Swords. Releasing any energies that are painful and just letting them go. You take 1 sword out of the heart and you've got 2 left, and that leaves you with a choice, decision. You guys are facing a choice right now on your journey. And Spirit's telling you, you've done such a great job. You've been so courageous. You deserve this new beginning. Use it wisely. Look at the lotus you have been becoming. Oh my God, this is such beautiful energy. Unfoldment. You know, there is a hand. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a shadowy hand back here holding the sun. And it reminds me, if this was a regular tarot deck, it's usually a hand holding the pentacle. right? Here's this hand holding the sun. Unfoldment. Things are happening for you. Things are happening for you. And Spirit's telling you, where do I go from here? Use the courage. Use this seed. Plant it wisely. You've healed so much. I'm so proud of you. Live wire 35, number 8. 8 is infinity. Live wire, bird on a wire. You have been energized. You've been energized. Something very new is coming. You guys have just, boom, like you're all lit up. You're unfolding. You're healing. You're choosing. You're planting. You're growing. You're giving. You're receiving. You're building a solid foundation. You're lit up. Spirit is hitting you. Live wire. You guys, beautiful energy. I'm seeing light, 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 light. Surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. I think you know that. I think you see it. I think you feel it. I think you know that it's time to make a move, but I think that you're a little wary. You're trying to choose wisely. Live wire, the time is now. Zzz, zzz. You're getting a little zzz to the butt. Spirit says time to jump. Don't spend too long choosing. Follow our guidance because the time is now is what I'm hearing. Ooh, address your addictions. Okay, so there's a lot of healing here. I think you already have. I think you've already addressed your addictions. I think that there might be a little cleaning up to do, but I think you've done great. I'm seeing sparklies. It looks like glitter, right? Address your addictions. I think you did address your addictions. And I think you've created a new life for yourself. You're being given a new future. I think your addiction could have been codependency, giving, right? Carrying. You cared so much, you carried everybody. And Spirit's saying, hey, once you healed that within you, once you quit looking out there in the world for somebody to validate you or find you worthy, now you're ready. Your life is about to unfold before your very eyes. Lotus flower unfoldment. You're blooming, you're blossoming. And it wasn't easy. Wherever you grew was not a good soil. But you grew anyways. And you addressed that addiction. And you healed it. Healing, healing, healing. Mending. We have Layla. Spend time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions, and ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. I think you guys are being faced with a choice, and you might be a little worried about how to choose. And Spirit's saying, the time is now, and you pretty much know. You already know. If you don't, go out in nature and pray and meditate and ask for an answer. You'll get it. I do it all the time, guys. I ask for, okay, God, if this choice is supposed to be for me, I want to see, a star pin on somebody's jacket in the next 24 hours, or sit out in nature and say, show me a cardinal, show me a sign, and you will get a sign. All right, let's ask your higher self. Trust your intuition. You're powerful and smart. See, you guys, you're facing a decision. On your journey right now, you're facing a decision. You're on the ascension. You've done a ton of healing, and you are given a seed, and you're being asked to plant it wisely. And to plant it from a different energy of looking for attention or seeking somebody else to validate what you're doing. Don't do it for anybody but you. So your postcard from Spirit says, Dear you, uncertainty is the new normal for the whole world. Things are changing at a rapid pace, and the old ways we once trusted are no longer reliable. But leaving the familiar behind can be a good thing. When you are pushed to step into the unknown, you are You're being asked to, you're being pushed to step into the unknown. You are pulled forward into discovering new possibilities that have been hidden in plain sight. Check in with your higher power. Your soul knows better than your small self. Have faith in the support of a higher power and the infinite potential for your life right now. Our advice we have for you is this. Try something new. Do something different. You won't know how it feels, what it looks like, or what the outcome will be if you do not take the first step. Surrender procrastination. Trust your intuition. Sorry, my nose is itching. You won't know how it feels, what it looks like, or what the outcome will be if you do not take that first step into the unknown and experience the unfamiliarity. You'll be so glad you did because the treasure will suddenly appear. We're so proud of you for being so brave. Courage. That's beautiful, guys. I love you, and I'm just going to drop the mic right there because that was a profound reading. You guys are doing great. You're facing your next step, and Spirit's saying you've got a very firm foundation. You can't get it wrong. Trust your intuition and just take that leap of faith. Namaste. All right, 11121, 11121. Pile number 3s, you guys. My pile number 3s are always just, you get a bad rap, right? You're at the end of the line, but you're also expansion. You guys are always the ones doing the seems to be in the hardest places, but doing the best work. We'll see. Let's see if I'm right or wrong, because energies change and shift. All right, what's your number? Let's just roll a dice for you. Number 2, you're facing a choice. Number 2 was facing a choice as well. Well, we're always constantly facing choices, are we not? So what is your archetype? Ooh, cat spirit. Claim your independence. Look at how beautiful the rendition of this is. What a magical looking kitty. And it is a number 13, which is the number of the divine feminine energy. Look at that beautiful kitty cat, all adorned. It's got wings. Cat spirit, claim your independence. Okay, let's take a look at how that's going to play out in the energies. Okay, so your archetype is child wounded, and it's in the reverse. So the upright attribute says awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. The reversal of it says blames all dysfunctional relationships on their childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. All right, so I'm already seeing a pattern here. So on your ascension, your shadow work is around stubborn independence. This cat has 2 different color eyes, and it's very well adorned. I think some of you guys had a rough, wounded childhood. And I think, you get 2 types of people who have been through that kind of a situation. You get those who become downtrodden and victimized and always begging for love and affection. And then you get those who take that distortion to the masculine side, right? We're going to go from the feminine to the masculine. And it's funny, it's a number 13, which is the number of the divine feminine. Okay? You could break it down to a 4, but I think number 13 is almost as sacred as a master number, in my opinion, as a numerologist. So I think you guys fell into distorted masculine energy. I think that when you were wounded as a child, you decided to pull up your big girl or big boy panties and just put put on that external shell. My oldest son, when he moved out on his own, he went through a lot of traumatic childhood wounding. We adopted our children, and he was the oldest, and he saw it all, experienced it all, the abuse, the neglect, the abandonment, the separation. And instead of falling into a codependent type relationship in his life as an adult, no, he got piercings all over his face. He dyed his hair. He wears funky. He wanted to stand out. He wanted to rebel against normalcy. He wanted to show the world that he was somebody, that he could be reckoned with, that he was the strong one, that he could conquer everything. And he moved out on his own, and he doesn't call home very often. He's very independent. I think that your shadow is all about healing your inner wounded child. And instead of falling into distortion, to balance that out. To possibly maybe move a little bit into the feminine energy, right? Not distorted feminine, but healed feminine. Balance. Potential. Receptive. Magnetic. I think you guys have chosen to seclude yourself in certain areas of your life because people didn't show up for you. People didn't care for you. There was something that happened to you, and you chose to take all of the faith that you placed on others and placed it right smack dab on you. I don't trust people. I'm going to learn how to fix my own car, fix my own refrigerator. I'm going to learn how to make my own money. I'm going to own my own stuff. I'm going very independent energy. Thinker, number 44, another master number. So you guys, you're smart. Could possibly be an air sign. Don't have to be. But you guys have distanced your heart. You don't allow your emotions to rule you. You use your logical mind. You figure things out. You're puzzlers, right? You probably like puzzles. You definitely do not want to ask for help. You're not the kind of people that easily ask for help from others. Thinkers. I will apply logic and reason and find a way myself because people can't be trusted. 7 of Pentacles. So 7s are about, where do I go from here? Where do I invest? Where do I place my potentials? What have I invested in that showed up and became fruitful? And where did they die and wither? Feel like you've had a lot of people in and out of your life that didn't show up for you. But you got 2 pentacles in your hand. Look at all these ones. They're all dead and buried, right? There's no potential there. I don't see anything growing. I see dry, desolate land. I think where you've been in your life has been hard. And because of that, you've learned to rely on yourself. You've learned to rely on your own logic, your own intelligence, your own decisions. I think you might possibly be a nonconformist, a rule breaker, rule maker. You know, rule breakers are usually rule makers. I used to watch my oldest son play in the backyard. He was the oldest. I ran a daycare out of our home, and there were lots of kids, right? But he was the oldest. And he would make up the rules to every game. And if he was losing, he'd change the rules. He didn't like to lose, because he had lost so much already in his little life at the age of 5. The people that he invested in abandoned him. They didn't invest in him. He had to invest in himself. So I feel like there's been something in your life, possibly from your childhood. It's just a shambled mess. And what you're doing right now on your healing journey, on your ascension, is you are learning to balance your masculine and feminine aspects. You could be on a twin flame journey, because that's usually how spirit conquers that kind of an archetype, right? When you fall way into the distortion of the feminine or way into the distortion of the masculine, the best way to do that is in relationship, right? Mirrors. It's a balancing teeter-totter. Twos are also not just choices, but usually choices, but they're also patterns and cycles. And, you know, Two of Pentacles, it's juggling. Two of Swords, reasoning, trying to choose through your logical thought, but you can't because you're blind. Two of Cups, partnership and love. Somebody meeting you halfway. Two of Wands. Who can I trust? What can I trust? I've got the world. I want to go out into the world. What do I take with me? What do I leave behind? Seven of Pentacles. What do I invest in? How do I invest? Maybe you've invested poorly in the past, and now you're trying to become independent. Six of Swords. Time to move on. Yeah. You guys have had some rough lessons in your life, and you want to move into smoother waters. You want to get out of this. Look at this place. Would you want to live there? I wouldn't want to live there. Would you want to raise children there, or grow a crop there, or build a home there? I wouldn't. No. You guys are ready to move on. You're ready to move forward. You're tired. Some of you guys are tired of never having anybody to rely on but you. Nothingness. This is a do-over. You guys are being given an opportunity to recreate yourself from the ground up. 0.0 energy. The past no longer. You can't build from that. You need I'm hearing you are healing your inner child. So Spirit says, don't leave out those who went to the other distortion. So I talked about, because I was feeling the energy of my oldest son. So I talked about, when you have this wounded child within you, when it comes to other people in your life, how did they show up? What did they teach you? How did they treat you? How were you raised? My son happened to go to the distorted masculine. Some of you guys might have went to the other side. You might have went to the distorted feminine. I don't feel it, though. There's no cups here at all. There's swords, broken pentacles. I don't feel a lot of feminine energy here. But I'm going to throw it out there just in case. But this is 0.0 energy. Okay, what does the... Okay, thank you. Spirit's given me a analogy or a lesson. So let's say you're a teacher, right? And you go in and you use a blackboard every morning. And you've done a lot on that blackboard, right? Usually teachers don't wash. I mean, in the olden days they did, but nowadays we erase it, and then the next day we write over top of like the smudges from yesterday and we erase it. But this is like that feeling of being at the end of a semester, the end of a school term, the end of a lesson. You guys are at the end of a lesson. And that teacher has to go in, or maybe the janitor, somebody goes in and completely washes that chalkboard clean. All residue of the past lesson is gone. You have a complete and utter brand new beginning that you are moving toward, because where you were did not support you financially, spiritually, mentally. You fill in the blank. Where you were didn't work. Where you came from didn't work. So you're healing. You are, sorry, got something stuck to my sock, pulling on me. You're getting a do-over. You're creating. Okay, Spirit's saying no. This is very well thought out, very independent thinking. You're creating a new beginning. But Spirit just wants to gently remind you, make sure that you heal that inner child, because the grass is not greener on the other side. It's never greener on the other side, guys. Whatever lessons that you've been being taught by life, you take those lessons with you everywhere you go. If the brokenness is around you, it's because somewhere it's within you. And so in order to really have a clean start somewhere else or with someone else or doing something different, you have to heal from the inside out. You have to remove all of that from inside of you and start with a clean slate. Or when you get in your boat, all of your lessons and your swords go with you, because it's within you. It's not just out there. So if you tend to blame everybody else for your woes, if you're like, well, this job sucks, so I'm going to go get a different job, well, maybe it's not the job. Or it is, but it's because you chose it, because somewhere within you is that vibration. Right? Or I'm going to leave this relationship for that one. And then what do you attract? The same lesson with a different face. So, I told my son, no matter where you move, no matter where you run to, no matter how independent you are, if you don't heal what's within you, you will attract vibrationally toward you more of those lessons, How many times have we as human beings been stuck in a pattern of the law of attraction? I liked the bad boys, and I attracted emotionally distant or unavailable people, men, into my life. Because inside of me, I was at the opposite of that. I was attracting neediness. I wanted to be needed, but what did I do? I chose people. Because you don't get what you want, you get what you are. And if you're emotional blocking, you will attract people who are emotionally blocked. If you have a fear of abandonment, you'll attract people that abandon you. If you have a fear of commitment, you will attract people that do not commit to you. If you have a fear of attachment, you will attract people that do not attach. All right. Next is happy ending. That's beautiful. I'm glad to hear that. Because see, look, this tells me that you're healing, that you're going to start from 0 point energy. You're going to get a do-over. It's a number 12, breaks down to a number 3. 5, 6, 7. and a 4. Yep. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You guys are you're doing okay. You know, you do still have some inner childhood wounds that need to be fixed. We have tree, grounding. No, these are your roots. This is where you came from. That's what you're running from. That's what you're being asked to heal, is your family roots, your foundation, your beginning, where you come from. You can't choose where you came from, but you can choose where you're headed, is what I'm hearing. Solar powered. Look at that. Lit up by spirit. Number 3. Another 3. Solar powered. Solar plexus. That is your God source energy. That is your self-worth. That's your empowerment. And oh my God, I am seeing a cardinal in the tree. I just talked about that earlier. So guys, you've been doing a lot of healing around your solar plexus, and if there's still anything there that needs to be cleared out to have that 0 point energy, that's where I would place my focus on your healing journey, your ascension right now. Focus on the solar plexus. We have surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. Look, here's another person alone with a backpack reflecting. I think you're loners. I think you felt left out in the cold, like people just, didn't, not really, I'm not getting the feminine energy of that. I'm getting the masculine energy of that. I don't need anybody to need me. I've got me. I don't need a partner. I don't need family. But that's what you're being asked to heal. Build on solid ground, foundation, roots. Adriana, I am leading you toward the answer to your prayers. Please listen to and follow the steps I'm communicating through your intuition, thoughts, and dreams. So you're being divinely guided, solar powered, right? God, source, energy. You are being powered and guided by the divine right now. And I feel like you guys have had a tough life and you've pulled up your big girl or big boy panties and you have succeeded. But you've always had this inner child wound of I didn't do it because I wanted to. I did it because I had to, because nobody else but me could. It's just me. It's not me and you against the world. It's me against the world. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance and to remove blocks in your life so you can succeed beyond your wildest dreams. I think the only block you have is trust. It's funny it didn't show up as a card. But you're moving towards something much better in your life. But Spirit's saying, don't take the energy of those lessons with you. Clear it. 0 point energy. Grounding. Build on solid ground. Some of you guys might run away from things easy. You might be runners. And you can't run away from anything that's in here, guys. It goes right with you. Take it as it resonates. I don't know. If it doesn't, leave it behind. We have clean, clear, declutter, energy, space. Look at zero. You guys got to clear that energy right out of you. You got to get rid of it. You've got to heal it. You've got to let it go. You've got to recognize it for what it is. Clean it out. Clean, clear, declutter, energy, space, brand new beginning. 0 point energy. Whatever your belief systems are around scarcity, if you want this happy ending and it looks like it's coming for you or you're headed toward it, you're going to want to clear that energy. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. So, dearest, wonderful you, to help you manifest a life for your highest good, we invite you to examine your deepest desires and fears. Imagine all your desires, no matter what kind, like magic seed pods. Look at, not these kind of seeds. No, magic seed pods. In a basket, glowing with infinite potential, not scarcity. Look closely at each one. Are you afraid that some may bring you too much attention and invite negative reaction from others? Judgments. Is change too daunting for you? Are you afraid to stretch and grow? Let yourself be led forward, solar powered. Where was the other one? Oh, Adriana, being led toward. Are you afraid to stretch and grow? Let yourself be led forward and let the seeds of positive intention take to the wind. They will find fertile soil. Your desires count, and you are worthy of them. They are essential for co-creating your world. Did you ever consider that when a desire comes from deep within you, from a healed space, that it could be spirit moving you to create something beautiful to share with others? Not to keep for yourself. Wow, there's the lesson. Some desires are infused with miraculous powers to move the heart and influence the world in ways you can't possibly know. Spirit's asking you to share yourself. I think that's a leap of faith for you. I think every time you shared yourself, it always came back to you. Did you ever consider that when a desire comes from deep within you, from a healed space, it might be spirit moving you to create something beautiful to share with others? Some desires are infused with miraculous powers to move the heart and influence the world in ways you can't possibly know. Embrace your quirks, embrace your weirdness. But make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure you're doing it because it's who you are and not because it's what you want people. Sometimes we do weird things because we don't want people around us. We want to scare them off. So there's a vibration that you're working on. So where are you on your ascension? You're doing awesome. But you're being asked to clean up some of the residual energies around your childhood, around not being loved or not being chosen or people not showing up for you or having to do everything by yourself. You might be the oldest child. You might feel like you had more responsibilities than you were supposed to have. And so what happens when children are expected to be adults when they're too young to be adults? They grow up and they become very, very lonely people because they just don't want to have to take care of others. They want to take care of themselves. And so Spirit's helping you with that, to help you to clear that energy. It's okay to want to take care of and nurture yourself, but don't do it at the expense of not allowing other people in. I didn't see any cups here, guys. Some of you guys are working on opening your heart chakra to be able to give and receive love. So that's your lesson. And if you need help with that, please reach out. I love you. Namaste.